Hi guys, I'm Annabelle and welcome to Meeple Village. Today we're going to be doing a full run through of Cyberpunk 2077, The Gangs of Night City, the board game. Join me at the table and let's play Cyberpunk. Alright guys, I have the game set up pretty much. There's still a couple things that need to be done, but I wanted to show you kind of how to set it up in case you're wondering at home how to do that. So first the map. So of course we have a humongous map. This is probably one of the biggest maps I've played with. There's some competitors, but this one is definitely up there. And on the map, what you're gonna have is a score track. So I have the markers for both players right here on space 0. So we're gonna play with yellow and green because I thought they were the brightest and be easier to see on the map, the miniatures. So that's our score track. And you notice they have this here. This is because of the adventure we are playing, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But before I do that, over here we have upgrade combat cards, which we're going to shuffle. And this is the way to, of course, upgrade our weapons so that we are better at fighting. So we're going to keep those there. And then running down here, we have our net run, which if you've played Cyberpunk, you kind of know what that is. But basically, you send your guys out to go get cool stuff for you. And we both start at the start spot, so I have a marker for both of them. And you will most probably see this done because it's kind of cool. All right. And it actually even here tells you how to do it. So if you're doing a network activation, it tells you, control is not required, gain one secret per one of these things controlled. And of course, now it doesn't make sense, but it will make sense as we play the game. So next we have edge runners, which are kind of like cards we can acquire to help us during the adventure. And we're going to set 2 up that we can purchase. It's not really a deck builder or anything, but well, if you these are the guys that I guess are prominent in the game, so they do special cool things, and it's hard to explain when you don't understand what the game's all about, but you will understand it when we start playing. And then also we have a market for opportunity cards, and these we're also going to shuffle. Are we going to put 3 out, and when we acquire one of them, or we're about to acquire one of them, I'll explain more about how they work, how you pay for them, etc. And then in the center of the board, you'll notice I already have some minis set up, and that's because that's our starting spot. So the yellow team is going to start over here in Haywood, where they have a base. I think I don't remember what it's called. I'll check in a minute, but kind of like your base of operations kind of thing. And you can have, I think it's a hideout now that I remember. So you can have hideouts all over the city, all over the different, I guess, counties or towns. I don't know what they are. And then we start with 1 of each unit. So we start with a solo unit, which has what is this? Pentagon. A pentagon shape on the bottom. We have a Netrunner, has a square, which is going to run our net over here. And then we have a Techie with a droid. And you're not supposed to put them together like that, but the thing is, droids move when Techies move, and if a droid is ever alone, it kind of dies. It needs a person there. It doesn't necessarily need to be a Techie, but it does need a person there. So I kind of put them one on top of the other so I don't forget to move them. And if I don't want to move them together, which I usually move them together, then I can make that decision at that point. So that's that. And same for the green team. They have a pentagon, a square, and an octagon shape for their Techie with their droid hanging up in the base with them, and they also start with a hideout. And I think that's it as far as the board. I have tokens here, which are resources. You are managing resources during the game, trying to spend them wisely and getting. So we have money, which is the yellow resource. We have, I forgot what these are. We'll check in a minute. And then we have secrets. I think this is tech. And then we have secrets, and secrets are wild. So secrets can stand for either the money or the tech, which I don't remember if they're called techs, but we'll see. And then we have dice, because for the net run, and only for the net run, we're going to need to use dice. We do not use dice in combat. We do combat with cards, which is going to bring us to the last thing that I need to show you, which is our player board. So everybody starts with the same 4 cards. They have a gray marking on the top, so that's how you know that they're the starting cards, and they're kind of not that great, but it's what we got. And like I said, we can upgrade them later. And then if you look at the player board, let's see, we have our actions that we can take, and we're going to go through all of these. On your turn, you can do 1 or 2 actions. So it depends. So either you take actions or you reclaim all your actions back. Other games do that where you have to spend a turn. I know Shutterstone does that, where you just reclaim all your guys, all your workers kind of. But here you reclaim all your actions so you can do them again. And we have solo actions, which, like I told you, is the pentagon. We have Techie actions, which is the octagon. We have Netrunner actions, which is the square. Then we have hideouts, so build more hideout kind of actions. We got upgrade combat, and then this one is a wild. So those are our actions that we're going to be taking. And then we have 3 more hideouts that we can build, and as we start building them, we get street cred, which is this green what do you call it, a star? Oh my gosh, too many shapes, guys. So that's how, you know, that we build more hideouts, we start getting street cred, because of course we're more well known across Cyberpunk world, I guess. And the same thing goes over also, I forgot to tell you. So these bases are because if we ever get some sorry, edge runners, we need to denote what team they're on. So, and you can only have 3. That's why there's 3 bases, 3 net runners for your team. Our starting money, everybody starts with the same amount of resources, $2, and one of these great things, which I think is tech. If you had more players, they would start with different resources. They get, I guess they get a little bit more for going later in the turn. They get a little bit more resources. And we also have 3 extra droids. We have 1 that we start with, and we can build up to 3 more. And whenever you get a techie, he comes with a droid. Whenever you recruit a techie, which, you know, I will show you how all that is done. And the same thing for this guy. It has exactly the same thing. So let's, you know, just go ahead and what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what our objective is. I played through a couple of objectives. This one is the tutorial because I didn't want to spoil anything for you, and it'll still give you a very good feel of what you do in a game. Of course, when you get deeper into the other scenarios, you might have more specific objectives that you must complete. But in this scenario, it's very, very simple. It's just to give you a feel. So let's look at it. So this again is a tutorial, and then it has a story setup. Sup, Jumba, you want to play this game, huh? How about tutorial? Yeah, okay, so they're kind of talking to us. And then the instructions, which I already did, and you saw that it place 1 time marker on space 15 of the street cred track. And the epilogue, Preem, I think I've got the hang of this now. So of course, and then the epilogue is when we're done with the game, of course. But you know, just so we know how to end the game, it says a player reaches or surpasses the time marker, which means that we need to get 15 street credit some way somehow in order to end the game. And the story ends, and the game is over, and the gang with the most street cred wins the game. So that's in this particular scenarios. In other scenarios, of course, the objectives are going to be different. The way you win or you lose is going to be different. Sometimes everybody loses and the game wins. But in this one, all we got to do is go up to 15 creds or more. And then, of course, I'm going to show you our teams. We're going to start with yellow. So I'm going to show you what Team Yellow is all about, because they do have special abilities. So let me show you that. So here's, first of all, a closer look at his player board, and it's great that it kind of tells you what to do in some of the actions, like, so if in case you haven't played the game enough, like at first I really needed to follow these things step by step, and sometimes I still do. But all right, here it tells you where they start. They start in Haywood, that's their, I guess, gang symbol, and then they have community support as their ability. If you control a business, which is a point of interest on the board denoted by that sign, at the end of your activate, but before refilling markets, because you refill markets at the end of every player's turn, and the markets are the opportunities and edge runners that I showed you before. So if you control a business at the end of your activate before refilling the market, you may sacrifice a drone in play to either store one of the 3 types of opportunities from the market on your personal opportunity slot if empty, which is right here, or seize your personal opportunity by paying its cost and satisfying any requirements. And so here's a spot for you to place an opportunity that you have. It's kind of like you're reserving, like when you do what you do in Splendor, when you reserve cards that you want to buy later. That's exactly what they do. Okay, but let's go. And I know you're still a bit lost, but it's all going to make sense in a minute. So first thing I'm gonna do with my yellow team, because they're gonna go first, and then when we go to green team, I'll show you what their ability is I gotta use one of these actions, and I already mentioned them, but you'll understand them better as we play them. We're gonna play a tech action, and what you do is you bring it down. The game doesn't specify if you put them in order of what you did or not. What I like to do is I like to leave them halfway, because you can only take one or two, and sometimes I get lost. Oh my gosh, of course this is my first action, so I won't get lost, but later I'd be like, did I already take the two actions, especially when I'm playing by myself. By the way, there is a solo version of the game. I have not tried it yet. I have been enjoying playing a two-player game, and I think the solo version, for what I read, is like deadly. Like it's hard. Just, I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but I kind of wanted to give you the feel for what the game is, you know, like meant to look like. Of course you can play solo, but I think that playing against another opponent is going to be more fun in this particular game, because there's combat and there's, you know, stealing things from other players and moving them away from the point of interest, which are so cool and so important in the game, which you'll see in a second because we're going to use them. So anyways, but that's what I like to do. I like to put them halfway, and then at the end of the turn, I move them all the way down. So we're going to take a Netrunner action, and what you do is, actually everything is in the book. In the back of the book, there's like a summary, so let's go through it. So once you've played the game a few times, you don't need to look in the manual anymore, pretty much. You can just use this reference, and it'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know. But you know, the first few times you might have to go and dig in, and everything is really like well organized, I would say. Like if I want to, we're gonna do the action activate Netrunner, so I could just follow it here. But since I kind of know, I think I know, I can probably just use the back of the book and I'll be fine. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna activate runners. That's the blue action that I used, the cube the disc that I just moved, and then we're gonna move any number of Netrunners, then begin a net run. I only have one Netrunner right now, so we're going to be moving that one. So, number one, gain a secret, which remember is a wild, for each data fortress point of interest that you control. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'm going to move my Netrunners, and of course I want to put them on the POIs here so I can get my wild resources. Because I'll tell you, resources... The first time I played the game, I was like, oh my gosh, I never have resources. Like, how am I supposed to get resources in this game? I keep spending them and not getting them. But I think as you play and you get the feel of the game, it becomes a little easier. We'll see how it goes today. So anyways, yellow is right here in Haywood, and they want to move to one of the point of interest that looks like that, either that or that. And I could actually move to either one, because movement is from adjacent to adjacent area, so I could move over there. But of course, I don't want to be surrounded by by hostiles, so I'm just going to move right here to where I'm with my bodies, which doesn't mean anything, because in this game, combat is just, you can lose your units whether you have a bunch of them or not. All right, so now that I'm in my point of interest, because I'm in my point of interest, I get a wild token, a secret, so I'm just going to keep it here with my stuff. And then let's move on to number two. All right, number two, activate net steps up to the number of friendly Netrunners in play, minimum of one. So I only have one Netrunner, so I can only activate the net steps to up to one, because that's all I got. And it's a minimum of one, so here we go. So like I told you before, this is the net that we're running right here. We start on the start, and then we just move all the way to the next arrow. And that's it. That's step number two. Let's go to step number three. The player may apply the reached step effect. It's optional because it says may, but I think we want to do that. It says gain one street cred. I think that's probably a good thing to do, right? Since that's how we win the game. So we're going to do it. We're going to decide that we are going to apply it, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Roll net watch dice. If the result is equal to or lower than the net watch death danger, apply its consequences. So we're going to do that in a minute, but let's finish it up. If the net tracker has reached the last phase, reset it to the starting step. And that's it. That's all for activating Netrunner. So let me show you the last two steps. So because we are here in this blue, I guess, enclosed area, and we just did that, we need to look at the net watch danger, I think is what they call it. So we need to roll, the roll is 4. And if we roll 4 or less, we're going to have to apply this effect. Kill all friendly units kick all friendly units out of every data fortress. So we will be kicked out of the data fortress that we just entered. So we're gonna roll. We need to get a 5 or more, and we're rolling 2 dice. So I think it's pretty safe. Of course, as you go down the net, it gets harder and harder. You have to roll, you go up to all the way to rolling a 7, which can happen. I mean, all of it can happen, right? So let's roll and see what we get. And we get a 10, so we're safe. We don't have to apply the effects. And then if we were on the last step of the net, which would be over here, we would reset it back to the start. But we're not, so we are done. And that was our first action. I know it seemed long, but it's not. It really isn't. It's just that I was walking you guys through it. And the second action that I'm going to take is I'm going to build a hideout because you need hideouts in order to recruit units. Of course, you also need dominance, which I will explain. Don't worry about it. But okay, so I'm going to build a hideout somewhere out there. So let's go to the book so you can see what or how that's done. It's right down here. So all you got to do is spend $2 or Euro dollars or something to build a hideout in a district where the player does not have a hideout, and then gain street credit according to the hideout space uncovered on the gang dashboard. So this is how you start wasting, or not wasting, but using up your resources. So I have to pay $2 I think. I don't remember what they're called, but I did. I paid my 2, and then I take my first on the left. So I gotta go from left to right. And unfortunately, this one doesn't give me anything. The next one is going to give me 1 street credit, and the second one is going to give me 2. But the first one doesn't give me anything. So I want to put it as far away from green as possible and close to where I'm at. So I'm going to put it there and let it be. And then I don't get any street credit, like I said. And that's the end of my turn. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my discs. And that was my turn. Now it's time for the green guys to go. So the green guys that are all the way over there, they probably want to do a net run too, just because you saw me getting a point for it. They probably want to build a hideout as well, but there's other things that we can do, so let's check it out. So I think what they're going to do is, let me show you what their power is. So the Tiger Claws, they start in Westbrook, which that's where I have them, I hope. Yes, that's where I have them. And then they have Revenge. When you lose a basic unit in a firefight, choose an involved opponent to keep that unit near their reserve as a revenge token. So if you lose a unit, you just give it to whoever killed it and they keep it as a revenge token. And then that's how they trigger that with payback. When initiating a firefight, you must retrieve all revenge tokens, so all your units that you lost and gave to the other player involved in the fight, from all involved opponents, right? And then during the compare step, which you're going to see when we go to combat, you add 1 damage for each, or 1 gun for each retrieved token. If an opposing unit is lost at the end of the firefight, gain 2 street credit. So they actually don't mind losing the first fight and winning the second, because then they get 2 street credit. During a reclaim, which is when you get all your stuff back, you may recruit revenge tokens if you don't have enough units in your reserve. And you'll understand that later when we start recruiting. So with that in mind, they're not very worried about upgrading their combat cards, because even if they lose, they're going to get a little bit of an ability out of that. So I won't worry about that too much. What I will do is I will move my Techies just so that you see what Techies do. So let me show you. Activating Techies. Move any number of Techies and drones. Then either seize 1 opportunity if you ended up in a business point of interest, or you control a point of interest, which is, being in that space. Or hire 1 Netrunner if at a fixer point of interest is controlled. So those are the fixers, those are the businesses. That's how you get the edge runners, that's what you get so this is where you get market cards, pretty much. So let's do it. So I have the 2 here. There's the fixer, there's the opportunity. And looking at the opportunities, they all happen to be blue, so I think I want, and also the Valentinos, which is the name of the gang, are really good at, having opportunity cards. I can keep 1 and all of that stuff, so I think I'm going to go for that. So for that, I have to go to an opportunity. So we're going to go here. So we're going to bring our Techie and our droid to right here. And also, you want to control the point of interest as soon as you can, because it's hard for people to kick you out of those. They can't just come in and remove you from there. You're stuck there. Of course, there is a way, and you will see it. But in any case, I've moved my one and only Techie, and now I'm at a business, so now I can take a opportunity. if I meet the requirements and pay the cost. So what are the requirements? So, well, actually, what are the costs? Because that's going to be more important. This one has a cost of 2, and I only have 1, and that one has a cost of 2. So the only one that I can actually afford is this one. Luckily, it has no requirements. So if we look at the back alley Ripper Dog, something like that, it has no requirements, and it costs 1 of these, which I still don't know the name of. Data? I need to look it up. And when seized, gain 1 street credit for each card of this color that you have, which will be this one, so we'll get 1, and then gain $1. So I love it. This is great. They give me a dollar, give me a street cred, and I have blue, and now I can start collecting blue cards. Okay, so I'm paying my this, which I'm gonna go check what that is. So I was completely wrong. It's called contraband. So I paid a contraband token, and I took my card, and then I'm gonna get a street cred, and then I'm also going to get $1 for my troubles, which I have $1 and I have a wild. So that was my first action. Where did I move it? No. Oh man, I did it to the wrong people. Oh God. Okay, give me all this back. I moved the right guy, but then I paid with the wrong person. Annabelle. Okay, these guys don't like opportunities that much, but I guess because there's all blue and you kind of want to get all the blues are going to do the same. They're going to give you street cred depending on how many cards you have. So it's kind of like a set collection kind of thing. So I guess I'll still go for that. Luckily, I did have the money I needed to pay for it. And then I need to move this guy's back and this guy's forward. Okay. And you know what? I do that a lot. I get confused about my colors. Maybe if I say it out loud. So yeah, okay. So they did the techie. No requirements. We gained the street cred. We gained $1. Okay, so now we have tons of money. So we're going to build another hideout because, are we? Or do we want to net run? I think we should probably net run so we can secure the point of interest. And we'll build the hideout later. It doesn't really matter at this point. So yeah, so we're going to do techies. So I'll move my techie and I'm going to put him here. And then I'm going to get a secret, or a corporate secret is what it's called, for being the purple point of interest. And then I'm going to move down on the net, gaining another street cred. So green is going. And then I have to roll my dice. And remember, 4 is the unlucky number. But I got a 6. Okay. So I've done my 2 actions. So green is done. Now we're going to go to yellow and hopefully remember. And I know greens don't care about losing in battles, but I care. So I'm going to go ahead and for my first action, I'm going to upgrade one of my combat cards. Also because I wanted you to see all the actions, preferably as soon as possible. So let's do that. And that one is right here. Upgrade a combat card. Spend 1 contraband. Okay, we got it. And we do have a contraband that we can spend, so we're good. No, we don't, but oh yeah, we do. Okay. And then number 2, look at 2 combat upgrade cards, choosing 1 card to take, returning the other to the bottom of the combat upgrade deck. Choose any 1 card from the new hand, not the discarded pile, and remove it from the game, from your hand. Okay, so let's see. All right, so first, pay my contraband. There we go. And then we get to, we shuffled this, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay, so we get 2, and I want to show them to you. So you see how these are red? That means that they're upgrade cards, so it's easy to put them away at the end of the game. You just, separate the red from the starting ones. And I mean, looking at this, that has a lot of guns. I should probably keep that one. So the way combat cards work is you're going to compare the number of guns on the card you play to the number of guns on the card your opponent plays. And then there's also a couple of things that happen. There's a reveal, there's an after combat, there's special things. So this one has a reveal effect, but it has no guns. But it says you may take back all your used combat cards. So you can, bring all of them from the discard pile. But right now my discard pile is not that great. And then it says play another combat card, add the guns, special modifier, and street cred condition to this card. So this would be good for later when I have really good cards like this one. And then it also has a street cred condition that you can meet each combat. So you would get, if I pick this card, I would get 2 street cred if you have no units left in the district. So if all my units die. Whereas this one gives me a bunch of guns and it gives me 1 street credit if an opponent lost any units. I think I'm going to take the M2067 Defender for now and put this one in the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I've done that. And then the last thing we have to do is we have to look at our hand, not our discard pile, but right now we don't have anything on the discard pile, everything is in hand, and we get to toss one that we don't want. So we're always going to have like 4 cards on our deck because we replace it. So of course I could get rid of my new card, but I don't want to do that. I will probably get rid of this one, Cyber Psychosis, since it has less guns. It does give you street cred if you have no units left in the district, but 1 gun, of course you're not going to have any units unless you have a lot of units in that district to begin with. So I'm getting rid of this one, and I'm keeping all those in my hand. And that one is out of the game. We're not going to see it again. All right, so that was my first action. For my second action, I still haven't shown you solos. But I just got a nice combat card, so I could use it and defeat one of these guys. Probably him, so he gets out of the point of interest. I could also run my techies, which I haven't done. And remember, these guys like opportunities. By the way, at the end of this guy's turn, this should have refilled, and now it's an orange card. But the problem with using my techies is that if I want to get these, I don't have enough. I don't have enough anything. I have one secret, 1 wild card to my name. That's it. So I think that because of that, maybe techies right now is not the best way to go. But running the Netrunners again, so I can get more wild cards, might be good. And I can do that by going ahead and using my wild and activating techies. I'm not going to move because I'm exactly where I want to be. I did it again. I got confused with the colors. These are my guys. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to move because I'm where I need to be. I would love to move a unit here though. Let me think about this because I haven't seen that yet, but you get to recruit units if you have a hideout and in a place. We have to have a hideout and a unit in order to recruit. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. Actually, no, you don't need to have units, but you do get resources if you have units and a hideout when you take a reclaim action, which we're going to do soon, and you'll finally understand what I mean. So I kind of want to move a unit there, but again, I don't have enough to buy that. But I could kind of claim it and just wait there. But I just feel like that's like my turn is going to get like wasted. I think I'm going to go with the text. I'm going to use my wild to run the Netrunners, get me a secret, a corporate secret, and then run the net by going down 1 step with the yellow. And it says an opponent discards 1 random combat card. So sure, I would like to apply that. So my opponent, which is the green player, is going to discard. They discarded the Cyber Psychosis, which is the one I got rid of. So the worst card they had in their deck. Not good, but okay. And then of course I have to roll, and we're still at a 4, but we pass. Okay. And that was my 2 actions. So I'm going to move my discs down, and I'm going to try and remember that I'm playing with the green guys. Okay, green guys. So they have money, tons of money, and they have a secret. I think they are going, let's see, I haven't shown you solos, but here's the point. Here's the thing. If I use my solos, right now it's not going to benefit me much. I should probably build a hideout. That's $2. Am I right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's build another hideout. And I know exactly where I want to build it. So that cost me $2. And of course, I get nothing because it's the first one. I want to build it right here where I have units. And that's my first action. And then for my second action, I guess we'll run the net so I get more resources. You could also upgrade my... No, I don't have anything to upgrade. Well, I do have a wild. Or do you guys want to see combat? I don't know that I'm super prepared for combat, but they like to lose in combat, so it doesn't really matter. Sure, we'll do combat so you guys can see it. Okay, so let's take a look at how you run a combat. All right, so here it is. It's the longest one of them all. So to activate a solo, which is how you start a combat, you may move any number of solos. Then the player may initiate a firefight in 1 district. I only have 1, so we're only going to start it in 1 district. So the first thing we do is we swap opposing units with solo units in any number of point of interest in the district. So let's go ahead and do that. So I know that if I'm going to fight, I want to fight here so I can, move this guy out of the point of interest. So they stop getting secrets. Now they got to move me out of there. Good luck with that. So That's the first thing we're going to do. And then number 2, all involved players play 1 combat card face down. Okay, so, and we get to look at those cards. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to go through what the attacker is going to do, but I won't show you what the defender is going to do to kind of keep it like interesting. I will have to pick a card for the defender though. So I know that I want to use my new card because I know with all those guns, I'm going to get my street cred if an opponent lost any units, because there is no card that has so many guns in the starting deck, which is what my opponent has. So that's the card I'm going to play. And then my opponent is going to pick a card, and they're going to pick that one. Okay, so everybody's picked a card, and we put them face down. Okay, so let's do it. All right, so face down, and then reveal combat cards, special effects, reveal, activate. So the first thing that activates is any reveal, when revealed effects, but none of these cards have any effects, so we're going to skip right through all of those. So this is the attackers, and this is the defender. And then special effect, compare, activate. So if they had a compare effect, but like I said, nothing's going to happen because we don't have it. Players who do not have the highest guns lose 1 unit in the district. And then special effect, casualties, activate. So there's 3 different effects that we could have in our cards. We will probably see them later. So of course, the player that doesn't have the highest unit is a defender, so they're going to use a unit. They get to pick what unit they lose, and then check played combat cards for fill street cred conditions, which we'll do after we decide what unit we're going to lose. Okay, so what unit are we going to lose? It's sad no matter what, but I think I'm going to lose my solo guy, which is the guy that he attacked me with, although I kind of need him to regain my spot. But I don't want to lose my tech just got worse because now he won't be able to stand here. So sure, let's lose the tech for now. Oops, wrong place. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm doing it again. I got it backwards. The attacker won, so this guy is lost. The defender won because the yellow card came from him. Oh my gosh, I need more coffee. So he lost units, unfortunately. He started the attack, but he lost a unit. That's right. Okay. Oh my goodness. So it's backwards. Yeah, that's right. They started the attack, but they really didn't have much in their deck. But remember, they don't mind losing units because when they lose a unit, which they did, they lost their attacker. We give it to them, kind of like a gift, and it becomes a revenge token. And the next time that we engage in combat, he has to give me that unit back, and I add 1 gun to whatever my card, however many guns is in my card, are on my card. Okay, so with that fixed, check play combat cards for fulfill strict credit conditions. Okay, so for the attacker, which was the green player, lost the units. 1 street credit if an opponent lost any non-drone units. Well, that did not happen because the opponent didn't lose any units. But then the defender is going to get a street cred because he gets 1 street cred if an opponent lost any units, and they did lose their only units. So that means that I kind of helped I kind of helped the yellow team with the green team. But you know, I'm happy that they have this there. I guess let's say like that. Let's see it that way. All right, and then last but not least, discard played combat cards into personal discard piles. Okay. And then end of the firefight, if players use their last combat card, they take back all previously used cards from their discard pile. But of course, this is the first card we use. So yes, even though it's a fun game, I don't recommend playing it by yourself because you can get confused. So, okay, we keep our nice gun in our discard pile, which means we can't use it again for a while until we use all the other 3 ones. So you have to remember that, and they know that as well. They know that now they use the only upgraded combat card. Of course, we can upgrade more combat cards later. But okay, so I think that's it. They used their 2 actions, so they are done. And we're going to go back. So our yellow player has 2 actions that they could do if they wanted to, or they could reclaim. So let's see. They could use the Techie action, but again, well, now they have some stuff that could get them one of these things. And for their solo They have their solo. Do they have their solo? Yes, because they use the big gun. So we might want to move them out of there. So I think, yeah, we're going to play. We're not going to reclaim yet. So first, let's do our techie action. So we're going to take our tech with our drone and put him here on the opportunity, and we can buy one. Let's see. Oh, that's here. This one has no requirements. What is the requirement of this one? Control any data fortress. And we don't, because we just got kicked out. So we cannot buy this one even if we wanted to. But the running upgrades, it says no requirements. And then it costs 2 of these. What are we going to get? Gain 1 street cred for each blue card you have, then gain 1 street cred for each opponent with more street cred than you, which we're tied at the moment. So that's a card I could get and I could afford. Or there's no requirements on this, costs the same, and we would gain 1 for each yellow card you have, then gain $1, 1 contraband, or 1 street cred. So you know what? I like that one better because it'll give me resources. I know that what I was trying to do is cut down the resources with like the blue cards for them, because if they keep getting blue cards, it's going to be crazy. But I think this one giving me like right now stuff is kind of tempting. So I think I'm going to go for that one. I'll use my 2 wild cards. I mean, not wild cards, wild secrets to pay for it. There are no requirements on it. And then one street credit for yellow. And then either $1, a contraband, or a street credit. And street credit is what's going to make me win, so I'll just take that. I'll get the resources later. Okay, and that's it. Let's see, and then yeah, we're going to fight. Now we're going to be the attackers. Let's see if I can keep it straight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my guy and kick him out. And then everybody's going to play a card. So my attacker, they have a three gun one, the crusher, but I know they have it too. I don't know if they're going to play it. Here's the thing, if they play it, they will win. And they know that that's the highest one I got. So I think this time we're going to lose because they will play it. They will play crusher against crusher. So we're comparing the same. However, because they do have they have to, they cannot. It says when you use a basic unit in a firefight, choose an involved. When you lose a basic unit, yeah, okay. When initiating, oh, it's when initiating. They didn't initiate a firefight, so they have to initiate the firefight in order to get the revenge token back. So we actually are tied. So in that sense, if you didn't lose any units, everybody's getting a street cred because nobody has the least amount of these. What we do have to do is discard the card. So everybody gets a street cred, which, you know, is kind of a wash, but we're getting closer to the 15. And I did get him out, so it wasn't a total loss. And that was it. So now I'm out of actions for next turn, so I will have to reclaim during my next turn. These guys, though, they still can upgrade their combat card, or they can do a, what do you call it, any action they want. So green, they will probably, looking at the resources, which is not that many. Oh, by the way, this gets refilled. And now, because when this guy ended his turn, if you control a business at the end of your activate, and they do control a business, before refilling markets, you may sacrifice a drone in play in order to store one of these things. So if I wanted to, I could store one of the blue ones. I don't need it, but he wouldn't be able to get it. So I'm going to take this one, I think, because it may kill a unit. So I will sacrifice my drone by drone. It was nice seeing you. And the drones do help you with dominance, which you're going to see very, very soon when we do the reclaim action. Yeah, so now at the end of his turn, it refills. We get a purple, and we get another purple, no oranges, which yellow player is sad to see because, again, you want a set collection kind of deal. All right, so back to him. So if I run my text, which I won't move because I'm right where I want to be. And I get a secret. In my head, I'm thinking ahead already. And I run the net. So I'm green, so over here. And it says an opponent discards one random combat card. Now, again, this is optional, and my opponent only has 2 cards left. If I make them discard, I will know what card they have, which is great, but also they'll be closer to getting their humongous gun back. So I think I'm going to say no to that. Don't discard your card. Keep it. That way I kind of know what you have for the next two combats. Okay, so I did that, and then I have to roll, of course, and we're still at 4. But we passed. All right, and then for my next action, I will upgrade my combat card using my secret, because I was supposed to pay a contraband, but I don't have one. So this way, I have a better choice, or better chances of winning, you would think. But of course, the cards I got don't have many guns, but let's go through them and see what we can do. And I only have 1 card in my hand, so this is probably the card I'm going to get rid of, which only has 2 guns, so okay. So this one has casualties. Your opponents lose a unit even in a tie. I like that. And then you would get 2 if an opponent lost any units, which, unless I lose, if I tie, they would lose a unit. And then this one says casualties. Whoever doesn't have the single highest guns loses 1 extra unit in the district. And if you didn't lose any units, you get 2 street cred. I think I'm going to keep the tie one because we are bound to tie more than me winning. And I'm going to discard this one or get rid of it. So that one goes into my hand. This one goes bottom of the deck. That's my 2 actions. We're going to go back to yellow, and finally you're going to see a reclaim because I have no more actions that I can take. So let's look at the reclaim. It's more than just taking your stuff back. It's actually kind of cool. So reclaim. Move all action discs back to the available action areas of the dashboard. So that's simple enough. And you don't have to take a reclaim action because you ran out of actions. You can take you can take 1 action and next time just reclaim if you'd like. But we've done that. And then we move on to 2. Obtain all district rewards where the gang has dominance. Obtain 1 district reward where the gang has only presence. Okay, so that's where I told you that you're finally going to understand dominance and presence. So dominance is a place where you have a hideout and the most units, including drones. So drones count towards dominance. And then presence is just having a unit there. If you have dominance in a place, you get all the rewards that are given at the specific place. If you only have presence, you get to choose one of the rewards. So let's go one by one. I'm doing the yellow player. So yellow player is here, but he doesn't have a hideout in this area, so he definitely doesn't have dominance. Besides, even if he had a hideout, these guys have 2 units to his only 1 unit because the drones count. So I get to pick one of these things. And of course, I'm going to pick the street credit because that's how you win. Then moving down to Haywood where I started, and I do have a hideout there, I have dominance because I have the most units. There's no one else there. So I get all of the rewards, which would be $2. So I have $2 to my name. And then we move down to Pacifica, where I have dominance again because I'm the only one there. So I get a contraband and a street cred. So I'm moving ahead in points. And I think that's it. Oh no, the last one, which is a very important one. Recruit 1 unit for each hideout the gang has in play. All right, so that's how we get units onto the board. So I have 2 hideouts in play, so I can put a unit in each one. So which one did I lose? I haven't lost any units. So I'm going to have a Netrunner, and I'm going to put him here. And I'm going to get a solo because I want to fight that guy. Although I can fight with this guy, but what if I lose him? So I think I'm going to go like that. And that's my reclaim. I can also bring a techie, but I don't think my techies are doing much. So I'm going to keep it like that and see how it goes. Now we're going to do the same exact thing with this guy. So we're going to move all the action back up. And then we're going to check for dominance. So in Westbrook, we have dominance. So we get $1 and we get a street cred. Okay, and then here we have dominance because we have more units. We have a hideout, which they don't. So we get all of that, which is great. City center is definitely the place to be. You want to control city center. It makes sense, right? I mean, haven't played the game, but you always want to control the city center, right? And then I also get a street cred. So moving up, and then that's it. That's everywhere I'm at. And then we're going to recruit. So I have 2. So I can get my units out. I lost my solo unit, so I definitely want to maybe fight here, get that guy out, and let's do a... They like that tech stuff, so maybe let's do a tech, although... Yeah, let's do a tech. So we'll put a tech here. And the tech comes with a drone. So here it goes. Okay, and now we go back to yellow, and we just keep doing the same thing until we get to 15, which, you know, we're at, one of them is at 7, so halfway there. All right, so yellow. Think first things first, we're gonna, well, I think we're gonna go and use our solo guys and fight again. And I'm going to come over here and get this dude out of there. So that's gonna be my first action. And now I gotta move him out of there. I didn't think of that, but that's okay. All right, and so then for my second action, I mean, we have to fight. So of course, I swapped them, and then we gotta pick a card. They're both kind of bad, but you know, we're gonna play short circuit, and then he only has one card. So let's compare. Of course, I have 2 guns. He has 3 guns, so we know the winner is. But the ability is going to trigger here, casualties. Your opponents lose a unit even in a tie. Well, they were going to lose a unit anyways because you guys won. So let's go ahead and lose the unit. So the defender is the winner. My guy is out, but that's okay. He goes back to my reserve pool. And then let's check for street cred. If an opponent lost any drones, no, that did not happen. And 2 creds if an opponent lost any units, which he did. And then we get 2 street cred for green, so we're tied. And because that was his last card, he gets all the cards back into his hand. I didn't initiate a combat. No, I didn't. Okay, so I don't get my revenge back. And that was it. That was my first action. For my second action, though, it actually kind of worked out. I'm going to move my techies. And this techie is going to jump right over here. And then this techie is going to jump right over here. And now I have, because I can move all of my techies, all the techies I have on the board, because I could have up to 3, but I got more if I have edge runners, because some edge runners are techies, which I haven't bought any yet. But for example, Judy Alvarez here is a techie net runner, so she can move when the techies move. Anyways, I get 2 secrets, so that was great. And I'm going to run the net, and I can move it up to 2 because now I have 2 net runners in play. So if I only run it 1, it would be move 1 opposing unit. And if I move it 2, gain 1 street credit. 1 friendly techie may build up to 2 drones. Oh, I like that, especially because I lost my drone, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to move it 2. I'm going to go boom, boom. And we gain 1 street credit. So there we go. We're at 8. And then I can build up to 2 drones. So we'll give them to our only techie. Well, actually, we only have 1. So there's your drones again. Now you can start sacrificing them to get cards into your... well, you can because you already have 1, but you know, eventually. Because remember, you have to sacrifice a drone in order to put a card in your personal opportunity slot, if it's empty. Okay, and I talked too much and now I forgot. Oh, we got to roll. Okay, so we are on 5. But we're good. Okay, and that was my 2 actions because thankfully I left them like that. So to remember, because I already forgot if I'd taken 2 or 1, 2. But yes, I did the solo, lost my unit, but gained 2 secrets because of my text. So not bad. It actually worked out. Okay, and now it's the green player's turn, and he better start moving yellow guys out of the point of interest spots because this is getting crazy. He does have a solo unit. So I think we're going to activate our solo. He actually has 2 solo units, for what I can tell. Where's the other one? I know there's one here. Oh, the other one is over there. So I think most important, we need to get rid of that dude. I have dominance here, the green player. So I'm more interested in maybe getting this guy out so that... Well, he will still have dominance because I don't have a hideout, but I can build a hideout for my second action. So we're going to move him out. And we're going to play a card. So now, of course, I only have 1 card. And this guy has tons, so for sure he's going to win. And he knows which one I have. Let's see. Let's just use the crusher. I don't want to use my super big cards. So, attacker, defender. Defender. It seems like defenders are winning every time. All right, so lost our solo unit. Hold on a second. Am I doing this right? Yeah. No. It's the other way around. I'm the attacker. Oh my goodness, why do I get this confused? I'm the attacker with the crusher, and I initiate it, so I get my solo guy because I initiated the combat, so I have to take him back. But I add one more, which then I should not play the crusher. I could have played something else, but it's okay. So the yellow player lost their Techie, so bye Techie. And then, if you didn't lose any units, you get on street cred, and I didn't lose any units. Good. And then the other player wants a credit if an opponent lost any non-drones. No, they didn't. Okay. So green gets his card on the discard pile, and then this guy now has all his cards back. Okay. And then for my next action, I could play it again. I mean, I could go battle again. However, he just got all his cards back, so it's probably not the best time to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a hideout with a contraband token, and I'm going to put it here since I have units here. And I do get a street cred for that. And that's my 2 actions. All right, yellow player. Let's see, I don't have any more tags out. I should probably build a hideout somewhere. I have a ton of resources. Maybe I will upgrade my combat cards. No, I haven't. Well, yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's pay $2 and get better cards. Or not. So, not that many guns. Reveal. All opponents lose all their drones in the district. Oh, I like that. And then reveal. Every opponent loses 1 drone in the district. This sounds better. 1 street cred for each opposing drone lost, or 2 street cred for each opposing drone lost in the firefight. I'm gonna take the shock and awe. It sounds more punchy. And which one do I want to get rid of? Probably a starting one. Probably the starting one that has 2. We'll get rid of the short circuit because it's pretty much the same if you lost any drones kind of deal. So, okay, so I did that. I think I can go fight again. What do I want to fight? Do I want to fight? If I fight him, I would have dominance here if I win. Wait, I paid $2 and it's not $2. Did I pay $2? It's a contraband. Right? To upgrade my combat? Yeah, so I did it wrong. I should have done this. $2 is to build a hideout, which I should probably also think about doing. Here's the thing in this game. You want to do everything. You know, there's not one thing that you don't want to do. I don't really like the cards that are out here. But I guess if I go for blue, I just don't have enough contraband to do it. So maybe I can run my net and get 1 more secret. I only have 1. You know what? Before I lose my dude, let's do that. Let's run my net with my wild. So I do get a secret because I have a yellow guy on the data fortress. And I only move 1, so move 1 opposing unit. Which one should I move? Let's move this guy. So, well, no. Let's move this guy. No. I was gonna say so I could. How about we move one of these guys? Because I thought I had a hideout here, but I don't. How about we move one of those guys out? Like the Netrunner? He can just come right back. Where would I move it? Fine, we'll move the Netrunner here, where there's. But then I give him presence there. He already has dominance here, so why not? Move him here. Sure. So I don't want to give him more resources. All right, and then I have to roll. We're at a 5. Oh, we lost that one. Okay, so we take the penalty. Sacrifice one friendly Netrunner. Oh God, I only have one, so that's the Netrunner we're gonna sacrifice. Okay, and that's my 2 actions. So we go to green. I think I wanna. Do I have? Yeah, I have. So I'm going to get a. I'm gonna run my techies. I have a techie here, and I'm gonna run it here to the fixer because I can get me one of these. And I'm looking at this techie. This Judy Alvarez Techie Edge Runner, so I have more text. It says place a drone when put in play. She comes with the drone, and use the ability triggers when you use the Techie action disc. And what's the ability? You may replace an opportunity card from the market, placing it at the bottom of the opportunity deck. Yeah, I do like that because I want to get more blue cards. And by the way, when I moved my techie, if I would have had a green techie in, let's say, in a opportunity spot, which I don't, I could have instead. I also have a techie here, which, where should he go? I guess we'll go here. But then I lose my, yeah, I don't want to lose my, because I have to have units and a hideout. Yeah, I could move all my techies, but moving it there doesn't seem like the best. But what I will do is I will pay for her. So there's that. And now she comes into my team. I need to get her mini. And I found her, and she gets this, and she gets put in anywhere where I have a hideout, but not at a point of interest. So green has a hideout here, has a hideout there. How about we put her here so she's soon close to a point of interest? And I pay my dollar. Yes, okay. So only when I use the action disc, I wonder if the wild, I don't think the wild works. I think it has to be the action, but I don't know. I didn't see that in the rules. Okay. So got that one, and then I do have one more action. I will run my net. Actually, she's a techie. She's not a net runner. Right? Techie likes the business stuff. So I put her here, so when we get rid of him, if we get rid of him, maybe I can put her there. And maybe that's what I should do, is go and fight. This guy has all his cards though, but I will get my revenge token and I will move him out. But then I use my wild. Or I can run the net. Yeah, let's run the net because my girl is over here standing like doing nothing. So let's run the net. Let's get a secret, and we only run it once because I only have one out, but it's a good one. Gain 1 street cred, so there we go. And then one friendly techie may build up to 2 droids. Oh, she comes with a droid, didn't she? Forgot. Come here. Here's your droid. It did say that you come with a droid. And then one of my techs can have up to 2, but I only have 1 left. So let's give it to, I don't know, to him. Sure, you can have it. Actually, let's give it to her. Although he doesn't have a hideout there. If he does get a hideout, I will still have the most units because of my drone. So he might move from there. I don't know what his plan is. Anyways, so I did that, and I have to roll 5. And I passed. Okay. And those were my 2 actions. Okay, now this yellow player, I know they haven't done a lot of actions, but all of their guys are like here. Like I don't have anything out there. So I think we're going to take a reclaim action. How are we doing on presence and stuff? Really bad because I don't have units. I have like 2 units. So we will take a reclaim action. Okay. And over here we have presence. So we'll take a street cred because we're falling behind. And over here we have dominance. So we get contraband and we get street cred. Okay. And that's oh, then we get to recruit. So for sure we need to recruit a techie because we don't have any. We'll put it here hoping that that guy will move. And what else do we want to put out? Let's do a let's do a techie with a droid and have him, where do we want him? maybe here, so I can go down that way. Oh, by the way, I didn't refill this, did I? Okay. And that was my reclaim action. So now we go to him. He has combat and I don't have to do both. I can just do one. And I have a wild, so I might want to use my wild. Green, green, green. Green. I have $2 and 2 of these. Green. That's a bad. All right, I think I'm gonna first build a hideout. And that will be my last hideout. I do get 2 street cred for that. So I'm up to 12. Because when I reclaim, I will have a hideout here. By the way, you can put these anywhere on the space. You don't have to put them here where I'm putting them. I just like to put them there to kind of, and I like to put the first player on top and the second player on the bottom, just so that I know where to look and to see if I have a hideout or not. But you don't have to follow that, of course. Do I want to upgrade my combat cars? Sure, why not? I do have money to do it. Contraband, I mean, it's not contraband, it's a secret, but you know. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we have one with 2 guns and one with a question mark. So this one. When revealed, every other combat card special modifier, including reveals, is treated as blank. Okay, that's not bad. And then this one, on the compare, the guns of this card is equal to the number of all drones in the district. Well, we do have a ton of drones out there. I just don't know if I can fight where there's drones, but I think that, yeah, maybe I can win with this one. So we'll keep that one. Put this one on the bottom. And what do I want to toss? I still have this one, which, yeah, we don't want that. So get rid of the one with 1 gun, keep one with 2 guns. Okay, very good. And that was all my actions. So, and next turn I will have to reclaim. All right, let's go back to over here where I had just reclaimed, so I'm good to go. I have units now. I think, I know they just got a card, which I don't know what they got, but it's kind of scary that they did. I also would like to get some more blue cards, because I know I have one here. There's no requirements. I do have the money, so let's go ahead and use our techies. I have a techie here, a yellow land, I have a techie here. So I'm gonna move this guy to the fixer with his droid. And he's out of business, which I like to keep him there. And we're gonna use the fixer. What are we gonna get? Or actually, no, we're gonna use the business. We're gonna get this one that has no requirements. So it costs 2, which I have. I have a contraband and a secret. And it says gain 1 street cred for each blue card you have. Then gain 1 street cred for each opponent with more street cred than you. All right, let's see. So 1 street cred for each blue card, which is only 1, and then 1 street cred for each opponent that has more than you, so we're tied. And do we net run with the yellow player? There's a Netrunner here, but he can't go anywhere, and that's the only Netrunner he has. So what about fighting? Can we get rid of that guy? Do we have fighters out there? We have a fighter there. Could do it. We could try, but I know they just got cards. I have money to build another hideout. What good is that? Oh, I can build a hideout over there. So yes, let's build a hideout. And it's gonna give me 1 street cred. So I'm really close, but that's my 2 actions. Okay, let's go to green. So Mr. Green is going to have to reclaim. No choice in the matter because he has no actions left. All right, let's check for dominance. Definitely dominance there. So green gets street cred. Did I mess up the... I might have messed up the... If I did, I'm sorry. Because why is he not, like, has more? He should have more, right? Because the other one was... Anyways, if I did, you guys saw it, and I apologize. So he... what did I do? I reclaim... Why did I get a... Oh, yeah, because I did that. So I get $1 and a street cred for my dominance there. And then moving here, I do have dominance here, so $1 and contraband. Okay, and here we're tied. So I have one unit and he has 1 unit, so we're tied. So I only get $1 because I don't have dominance. So I think I did all of them. Yes. Okay, and now we have tons of money. All right. Oh, and I need to recruit. Of course, recruiting is important. I want to get a techie out because hopefully this guy will move soon. So we'll put the techie here. Might as well use my solo, which will I put one here. I still have, so we'll put the solo here. And my techie here. Well, I already have a techie there, and then maybe another solo here. Yeah, I like it. He has a lot of hideouts. Okay, so I think he should be winning, but I messed up somehow somewhere along the line somewhere. All right, so back to yellow. Yellow. Oh, by the way, at the end of yellow's turn, I could have, and I was going to, and I forgot. If I control a business at the end of your activate before refilling markets, which I haven't refilled the markets, so you may sacrifice the drone in play to either store. Oh, yeah, I could do it. Store it or seize your personal opportunity. So I will seize my personal opportunity. Wait, control any data fortress. Does the yellow control any data fortress? I don't. So I couldn't have. Okay, so it's good that I forgot. And this should have been refilled. Oh, but it's blue, so beautiful. So I think I will use my techies. And I have techie here and techie there. I will use my business. What is the requirement here? Before I do that, hold on. Presence in city center. I do have presence in city center. Okay, so presence in city center. It costs me a contraband, which I don't have, but I have a secret. And then gain 1 street cred for each blue, what do you call it, card you have. Then you may move any friendly unit directly into city center. Okay. So I have now 2, because this one doesn't count. So I get 2 street cred, putting me right where I need to be. Let's see, boom. And then I can move any friendly unit into city center, but I don't need to because I think I won. I do not think we go to the end of the round, but I will double check that. And if we do need to go to the end of the round, then I'll make the decision on this. So yeah, I checked. And right here at the end game section, it says the game ends at the end of a player's turn where one of these conditions are met. Gang reaches or surpasses 25, which, here we just needed to get to 15, or a story, a below condition is triggered, ending the current story. And that we did, I believe, because a player reached or surpassed the time marker. So I don't have to make that decision. I'm not sure what I would have done. I think I messed up on the tracker, on the score tracker, but hey, at least you got to see what the game has to offer as far as all the different actions that are available. We bought edge runners, we bought opportunities, we fought, we did everything that pretty much you can do in the game. Just it's harder to get track of what your color is, I guess, when you're playing solo, and I apologize for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and it gave you a feel of what Cyberpunk 2077 feels like and plays like. Well, guys, there you have it. That was a full run through. I think I messed up a little bit. I apologize for that, but you probably caught those mistakes, and at least you got a feel for the game. I do enjoy it. I do think that, of course, it plays better when you're playing with someone else. I've yet to try the solo version of it. I probably will, just because I enjoy it, and it's hard to get. This game is it's not easy, right? So there's a lot of moving parts. And you need to kind of have a strategy, which I kind of was all over the place, really, because I wanted to show you all the actions. That was more my focus than really trying to win. But when you're trying to win, you do need to strategize and need to figure out what way you're going to go. You saw that the yellow player decided to go for those opportunities, and it ended up winning the game for him just doing that. Even though they lost more units than the other player, they still achieved the win. But it was pretty close all the way to the end. So even though I might have messed up the score tracker once or twice, but it is a good game. It is one of those games where you are really engaged, really like into the game. You forget about the world when you're playing it because you have to, right? There's so much happening, so much going on, and it kind of makes you feel like you are a net runner, doing a net run and trying to get stuff for your gang and get benefits for your gang. And resource management is a big part of the game, as well as managing your deck and trying to get better cards for your combat cards. So there's also your actions and what actions you use for the wild is another important decision. So there's plenty of important decisions. Also positioning your gang members, taking those point of interests early in the game, or if not, trying to get them back later in the game. And even if you lose units, taking advantage that the spot is open and getting in there. So all of that is I like about the game, that it's not like super complicated that your mind is going to break, but at the same time, it does have some interesting mechanics and some interesting stuff going on that makes you feel like you are controlling a gang and you have to send them to the best places and activate them at the best time. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments below if you liked it, if you played it, if you think it's a good one for your collection. All right, don't forget to follow us on social media and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're almost to 2,000. I think we have like 200 more subscribers to get to the 2,000 mark. So looking forward to that, accomplishment. And it's all thanks to you guys watching. So I appreciate every one of you. And thanks for your comments as well. I get a lot of encouragement from you guys, and I love it. All right, I'll see you out on the next video. But until then, may you play more games.